Hello, Libra. Welcome. I'm Ryan. Thank you for being here. This is going to be a general reading for you to be dealing with. Of course, everything may not resonate, so take what does and leave the rest. And for more tarot readings after this, please check out my wife's channel, Theyre Tarot Review as well. Thank you. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I was gonna say that does matter, the order. How you decide to respond or react to something it does matter. There's the devil, like I was just saying, it does matter how you respond to something or what you do. It's kind of like, is it a knee-jerk reaction or is it like genuine? Okay. How you do something is more important than what you do. All right, so jumping into this, Libra. Oh, geez, yeah. Don't go breaking your own heart. It's like, what happened? What went wrong? It's like, well, could have literally perspective on top of the deck. You could have done something differently. But jumping into this, I do see that there is this overall desire on their end to make things right and clear the air with you. For some reason, it also kind of seems and it feels like they're a little bit, how do I say this, new to the ropes. It's kind of like they're learning the ropes as to what to do, how to do this. So I don't know if this is kind of like going back to the basics of the fundamentals of relationships, commitments, friendships, whatever this is. It's kind of like the building blocks, if you will. For some reason, I'm looking at those children's building blocks where they have like numbers or letters on them, like A, B, C. I'm not making fun of them or calling them childish or anything of that sort. It's just visions. Because it feels like they're working on this and they're doing what they got to do, but it's like there's almost like this anxiety or this stress as to actually moving forward and doing it, and that's what I'm not too sure. It's kind of like, have you been in a relationship before? Have you had a friend? Have you had, have you been in connections? Have you kind of like socialized, and are you aware of what it takes to maintain and upkeep a relationship? It's not just me. And that's what's very interesting, is for some reason it's kind of like they want to do this, but for some reason it's kind of like there's like anxiety or panic as to moving forward and doing it. But once they do it, it's kind of like, okay, they can finally breathe again. And so they're kind of like, okay, great, I did it. I went through with it. And it's kind of like, okay, there's progress, there's growth, slow and steady progress and growth. But also at the same time, even though that connection between the two of you does show up, they're saying there's actually more problems and more issues to take care of and handle. And isn't that the thing? It's kind of like, once you straighten out one thing, there's another thing to take care of, and then you keep going. And that's what maintaining and upkeeping a relationship is all about. It doesn't just stop because one day, oh, I bought them flowers today. Okay, well, what'd you do wrong? What are you gonna do tomorrow? No, I'll just energetically check out and the relationship will be fine. It'll run on itself. I'll just hit the cruise button. It's like, no, it doesn't necessarily work that way. It takes effort and work every single day. And they're showing me, okay, well, things are being straightened out and cleared up between the two of you. And so it's a slow and steady, gradual progress and pace here to deal with whatever other problems or issues might show up. Now, I don't exactly know, like, this is where I was kind of talking about the order. It's not, let me buy flowers because I fucked up and I haven't told them yet what I did and why I bought them flowers. It's kind of like, what'd you do? It's like suspicion. For some reason, it just seems that they kind of go in like a spaz, and I don't know what that's about. It's kind of like, oh shit, now there's other problems that need to be taken care of. It's like, yeah, that's a connection, that's a relationship, that's a friendship. And they're kind of, it's interesting, they're kind of giving me this situation like, but how? It's kind of, there they go. They're going through a spiral. They're going through a mental and energetic spiral as to, but this needs to be taken care of, that needs to be taken care of, that needs to be taken care of. And it's kind of like, breathe. Slow down and breathe. Because you're breaking your own heart. It's kind of like, you know, it's not like, oh, congratulations, we're an item, we're together, we're in a relationship, or here's our connection, and then the rest of your life is picture perfect, rainbows and sparkles and glitters. It's like, no, there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs and there's going to be hells and there's going to be heavens. It's they understand that, though. They understand, yeah, they understand that. It's the hard knock lives, yeah. It's a hard knock life, hard lesson. They do kind of energetically present like a little bit of fragile, like fragile mind, fragile state of being, or fragile perspective. I think they kind of got triggered by that one. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know, there's a fragile state of mind, or a fragile emotional state. Usually the tolerance level is very low. It's like they can't take anyone else's perspective or opinion or judgment without kind of going off the rocker or going off the rails. And emotionally as well, it's like easily triggered, easily offended, easily bothered. It's kind of usually with younger energies. Yeah. As I say that, I'm looking at lower, not lower, but younger energies. They're kind of like, drop it. Hopefully you're Libra. Hopefully you're not asking about children or kids. Hopefully not. Yeah, I do feel like, again, it's reaching, what they're doing is they're ultimately reaching emotional maturity that they are showing me. Like I said, sometimes it's a hard knock life. It's kind of like the reason why some people look like their face is made out of stone is probably because they've walked through hell. They've dealt with their personal demons. They've had to do that difficult shadow work. They've worked on themselves. They've seen some shit. They've been through some shit. They've lived some shit. It's kind of like nothing, you know, usually you see with older are the elders. Like, why do they just got no expression? It's like, well, because they've been through some shit. They've lived life a little bit longer than, you know, the youngers that kind of rush into life with a big old bright smile and their eyes all lit up and, you know, starry-eyed, and, you know, just a difference in maturity levels. I feel like ultimately that's what they're saying is, you know what, it's kind of like the emotional maturity that they are reaching is also, interestingly enough, leading to kind of like this new passion or spark for life. And with that, it's kind of like they're on to their next chapter. So, interesting. Nice. Of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with a water sign, a fire sign, an earth sign, or an air sign. Goodbye.